You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Married to Jonas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Married to Jonas After Show.
Wow! We came in with an entrance. That was a loud entrance. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Married to Jonas After Show. Bing is for doing, and that is what we're doing tonight, discussing Season 2, Episode 4, Fandemonium. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, and joining me tonight is Samantha Laich. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
And Danica Kennedy.
Hello.
How are you ladies doing tonight?
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fantastic.
It was a good episode. I said it was Brazilian on Twitter.
Brazilian.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Clever.
Brazilian. Yeah,
I like it.
clever. I'm kind of Brazilian.
Clever, Cathy.
So tonight's episode was all about Cosmo and South America. It was fun.
Lots of spicy flavor in there this episode.
A little bit of spice. I got my champagne with ice cubes because we're keeping it classy tonight. Well, it might be a little loose-lipped, but so we start off Kevin and Dani saying goodbye to each other before he goes on tour, and it was a really cute scene. I love them together. They're adorable. But he says he was wrong last episode, and it takes a real man to say you're wrong.
Does take a real man to say you're wrong.
I'm glad he said he was wrong, because he was bugging me. I was like, let her do her thing.
Yeah.
He knows. He's the only married man on the show. He knows women are always right.
Yeah, he
and
knows
the
how to play
wife
that.
is always right, and he knows how to keep her happy. He said that he was wrong in the situation. He should have supported her, which he should have, when she got this job, because she's been wanting to do her own thing for a while, and this is the first time where she's finally got that opportunity.
Yeah. It was nice to see her. I mean, we said this last week, we said it last season, that she has to do her own thing. She has to find herself, which is why we were so thrown off by Kevin's reaction last week, because we were like, whoa, this is not what we were expecting from married man Kevin. He's normally just, so level-headed and is always supporting her. So at least he can still, redeem himself by taking it all back and apologizing and moving forward, like a real man can.
I understand why he wants her to be there. I mean, if you're going to get married, you want to marry your best friend, someone that you want to be around all the time. But I mean, I feel like they were only gone a few days, and that maybe it was longer than that, but it seems like they were only apart for a few days, and he was already freaking out that she wasn't there.
Yeah, you need to miss the person sometimes, too.
Yeah.
I feel like they're so connected at the hip all the time. It's probably good for their relationship to have a little bit of separation,
Yeah.
but I feel like this is such a good example of why, this sounds bad, I don't want to say that they're breaking up or anything, but there's so many celebrity couples and their relationships don't last because that celebrity is always going to be the center of the tension in the relationship. It's always going to be like their job first because they're making the most money, when it's like, oh, the other person needs to do something that they're passionate about too.
And I think that that's where they're kind of getting to. It's just more of a struggle because before, Dani's life was all about him. Like, she would be able to pick up and go on tour at any time. And now that she's kind of becoming more independent, she's getting more opportunities, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case in the future.
Yeah.
But sometimes long-distance relationships are good. You get your stuff done.
Bit,
yeah,
like
but
they're doing.
Like a tour.
You get your stuff done, and then when you are together, you know that you can devote your entire time to each other.
And you just value that time so much more because
Yeah.
you're not taking it for granted. You're not just going to be able to see the person whenever. So if you're only together for 2 days, you're kind of taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like going on tour would be really fun, and it looked fun when they were doing it. But if you're just tagging along as the wife or, you know, the girlfriend or whatever the whole time, it would get kind of boring, I feel like.
I mean, the guys want to go out and party, and you feel like you're that awkward.
It's like you're a groupie and you're just like, hey guys, I'm here. Which
I don't think it's like that because the guys do really like her. They enjoy spending time with her.
She's family now.
Yeah.
I mean, she's family to Mikey. But that might be kind of awkward. But they had the cutest goodbye ever. When he kept on coming back to kiss her, and it was like...
Wanted to pack her in his suitcase.
Yeah, that was so cute.
Reaction, even your voice changed.
It was adorable. Yeah. I wrote another joke, which is really bad. I said, because he was talking about how he doesn't have to pack warm clothes because it's not Chile.
Can we get like the drama?
I had a little bit too much champagne in the maracas. So the boys end up going to Mexico, Brazil, Chile, all over South America. We got little snippets of a lot of the tour dates, and then we got to see a little more in depth. Where were they again? I don't even know.
I don't know, but it went crazy when they got there. And Mikey wasn't kidding. Like, in that interview we did with him, and he said, oh, in South America, they really go crazy, and the fans are so intense. I didn't really expect it to be that intense until we saw this episode.
They had to have an entire police force to stop these people from harassing them at a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean,
and
just
they were
for lunch.
crying.
Yeah.
Like,
hysterical about it.
really intense.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets to the point, I think, where, you know, the whole Fandemonium part of it, you love your fans and you love that they love you and you respect them for that. But then it also is kind of concerning when you're like, I'm just having lunch. You know, like, I get it, come to the shows and everything, but you also have to know when to respect that celebrity's privacy a little bit, you know, which is, I think, just completely thrown out in today's society. Privacy is no more.
I feel like, and I remember this when I was, you know, 13, 14, 15, you have a celebrity crush and you think you're going to marry them. And like, you just think like, it's like, okay, if I get that one shot with them, then
if they could just see me, they'll know that we're supposed to be together.
And it's not like the guys were being coy about it. They were like, oh yeah, I'm going to find a wife in Brazil or like wherever it is. And these girls, these girls, I'm sure think that that's, you know,
oh, that's me.
Could potentially happen. And it could. I mean, you don't know. Kevin met Dani on vacation. Like, it could happen.
Yeah. Jumping on the windshield of cars and doing all that, though. Ladies, that is not the best way to find a
You
man.
gotta let them chase you.
Yes, that is not hard to get at all. That's sad.
Yeah, make them work for it. So, not climbing all over their Suburban or whatever they're driving.
Trying to break in.
Yeah.
Please,
I don't know if you guys caught this. There was a little girl. She had to have been like 14. It was a very quick clip, and she had, I'm really hoping that they were fake tattoos. She had Jonas Brothers like tramp stamp tattoos on her
like
back.
Flags. It was like,
oh
my goodness.
I was like, I don't know if I support this. But
what happened to posters?
I think it was a temporary tattoo, but
good.
If not, let's, I don't know, let's hope it was.
What awful parenting you must have.
It's a little kid.
Yeah. So, South American fans, very, very enthusiastic. But we go back to the States where Dani and Dina are preparing for Dani's Cosmopolitan interview. We know how reality TV works. Kind of looked like that was filmed on the same day that they were there last episode.
They're not outfit repeaters. They're not usually those type of people, so it's safe to say.
Yeah.
The editing.
Yeah. Editing.
We were like, wait, what?
I mean, we know in reality shows you have to, you know, you film all of your interviews at the same time, and that's why they're wearing a lot of the same clothes in different episodes and whatever else, but usually you try to get it done, so they probably did. But it tells the story of what actually happened, and that's her Cosmo article on cooking for the family, which I think is really cute.
Yeah, how perfect.
And their family loves food, so that's a good segment for her. When they first said Cosmo, I was like, is she giving sex tips? Like,
Well, that's what they even said. They're like, am I going to be cooking in my underwear? Which, yeah. So they talk about Dani's article and what it's going to entail, and they kind of put a little pressure on her. They say that we're going to do this photo shoot, and you have to have all of the text written within a couple days after doing the photo shoot, which...
I love that her first question was like, well, what if I don't get you that content within the first 24 hours or whatever?
If you don't get us that, we will miss our deadline, and this is all riding on you.
Going in the magazine.
No pressure.
Lots of pressure. Kind of intense.
She can do it.
I think she can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
3
also
days.
kind of cool, too, because it speaks, like, the value of what she's doing. You know, it's not just something that can be pushed aside or moved or whatever. It's like, we need this because it's riding on you.
Yeah. I also like that the article had a lot of her input. It wasn't just someone writing something about her. It was, she gets to create this thing. She gets to put in her recipes. She gets to contribute a lot more than a typical spread in a magazine.
I like that too, because there's so many magazines where it shows all the diet tips or whatever, and they just like smack some celebrity's face on it, like, oh, Angelina Jolie's green tea, whatever. You know, they just like put the celebrity with it, and through this we can see like, oh, she really likes Italian food, and she's picking it, and I think it's cool. It shows that side.
I think all of the girls, the DeLisa girls, like to cook, because Dina used to have a cooking blog, and then I feel like they're always tweeting pictures of like the meals that they make for each other and whatever else.
We should do a cooking show with them. I'm like, how can we try?
I'll rough that or something, because
got my cooking blog already going.
you'll be hoping I don't participate.
Yeah.
Keep
Can
your
you
fingers crossed.
make a mean bowl of cereal?
I'll just be the judge.
We'll be the taste tester.
That works.
Yeah, my Honey Nut Cheerios are excellent.
I made a mean bowl of Kix this morning, so can't touch that. I want to talk more about the South American tour. Before we get into that, if you are watching us on AfterBuzzTV.com or watching us on YouTube, then please take 30 seconds, go over to our iTunes page, click that subscribe button. You can just find our Married to Jonas after shows all there under AfterBuzz TV. We also do 50 to 60 other shows a week. So if you're a fan of anything on TV, especially the E-shows, we got pretty much every E-show on the network, from What Would Ryan Lochte Do to
Keeping
the
Up with the
Kardashians.
Kardashians.
We got them all. So definitely check them out, subscribe, and if you could take 2 seconds to rate and comment on our Married to Jonas after show, we would be your best friends forever. Lots of praise. But we will also read out your comments on air. So yeah, do it. 5 stars, please. So the boys, they're in South America, and they go to the brunch, which we talked about. I love the clip where all of the people, the fans, are kind of coming outside, and the buzzing noise that they had in the background of the editing. Because it totally reminded me of a beehive, like people swarming them. Yeah. I saw The Wanted actually this past Thursday at the Grove, and I don't think EPR had told anyone that they were going to be there. And there were hundreds of people lined up to see them. It was ridiculous. Fans with signs, and how do they find out?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it has to be Twitter.
Because I know that The Wanted didn't tweet anything. I was talking to one of the guys at E! And he said that, you know, how would they find out? They might have tweeted it from EPR's Twitter.
Yeah, but think about the way that things spread on Twitter with hashtags and stuff now. You get the crazy fans that are following the same fan club or whatever it is. You know, one of them is like spotted, you know, here at the Grove. Then you get 30 people that see that are retweeting to however, you know, it just spreads like wildfire on Twitter.
Speaking of which, I think we should do the Wanted Life after show, because that's going to come on E! soon.
I'm down.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Well, we'll talk about it later. But the boys, they're getting lunch or brunch at this restaurant and discussing Dani and her not being there, and then also how they're going to find wives in South America.
Not so successfully.
Yeah, it didn't turn out so successfully. They said that Dani was going to be their wingman, which I love.
I know.
And then it was going to be like really awkward for Mikey because having your sisters there while you're trying to hit on girls doesn't really work that much. I feel like it could work in his favor though.
It
I
could.
mean, no one knows them better than their sisters, so obviously, you know, I feel like they're all cool enough to kind of play wing women.
I don't think it was that. I think he said that they were judgmental
Like, too
of the
picky.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah, they want their brother to have the best girl, probably.
I
so-
can see that. I mean, that's how I feel about my brothers.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
not
don't
end
think
up with
that
someone weird.
at the time and place in his life or in their lives, they're not necessarily looking for that settle down kind of girl, you know? So they're looking for a great girl, but I don't know if it's like up to your sister's standards
I think
for what
it's-
they're looking for.
It's
you know?
definitely different for guys and girls and when they mature. And I think that, I mean, all of his sisters are, Katie's not married yet, but Dani and Dina are both married. They settled down very young. I mean, when did they get married? Like early 20s.
It sounds
And
like.
I mean, maybe that's more typical for girls, but the guys definitely seem like they want to, other than
like-
Kevin,
They want
live it
temporary
up a little
wives.
bit. Well, he
Just
said,
for the tour.
maybe. Or, I mean, Mikey said when he was in his interview that he doesn't want a wife or to settle down or whatever for 10 years.
He wants a wife to swap so he can be on that show.
Exactly. I think
Only
you guys got
reason.
married on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Temporarily.
Heavy if you're watching.
I mean,
Where's the ring?
Dang it.
Everyone
Settle
wants
down
that,
too
you
quick.
know, that person to just spend the time with, you know, and that companionship. But
Exactly.
girls have a whole different opinion as to what, like, committed is, as to what guys think that it is sometimes, especially at the different ages.
Yeah.
So,
I think with Mikey, Nick, and Joe, they're all very young and they're all very career driven. So
And look at their lives right now. Like,
Yeah.
if I was living that life, I wouldn't want to settle down either. You're traveling the world, you're meeting new people all the time. It kind of makes sense for that lifestyle if
Yeah.
you're going out to clubs I don't know if they're doing that.
I mean, it seems like they want someone to like support them, but they don't really want to like. They want to still be independent.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Nothing super serious.
What?
Nothing super
Yeah.
serious.
So they go back to their hotel. They're unpacking. They have a long day ahead of them because their show isn't until 2 in the morning. What? Like, who? Okay. Anyways, that is really late. But I guess that's how people in South America do it.
Well, I hear they have don't they have dinner really late there too at like midnight and stuff? So maybe that's like, oh, right after dinner for them.
gosh,
Go
that
to the
sounds
concert.
like
Wait,
Who
that's
has
so
dinner?
late, though.
Yeah.
I've just
You're not
heard
supposed to eat after
there.
8 p.m. Haven't you ever heard that?
That's what I hear. That's what I learned from like Cosmo magazine.
they're having concerts at 2 a.m. Their 8 p.m. is like
I know.
lunchtime.
That's intense. And that's what they said. They were like, we have a really long day. It's hard to, you know, you can't exert yourself. Even though they had all these plans of all the things they wanted to do when they were in South America, doesn't seem like that's going to happen because they just need to chill in their hotel room.
Yeah.
I did notice all the Red Bulls on the table right before they were gonna go on.
They need that
Needed a
extra
little
boost.
help.
I was getting so stressed when they were backstage because it was like, you see on the screen, it's like 12:45 a.m. I was like, that's so late. And then they still had another hour and 15 minutes until they're set.
Yeah, and I'm like watching it here at 10 o'clock at night, like, oh, I'm so
Yawning.
tired. Like, this is making me tired watching them perform that late.
I know. I had to have
So much
coffee at
energy.
6 p.m. to keep myself up
Get it going.
past my bedtime. So they're unpacking, and Kevin is talking about how he misses Dani.
So cute.
And
as always.
Yeah, it's very cute. And then Nick talks about how he wants to drink because he's legal in South America. So they order some drinks. Yeah,
Some drinks or some drinks?
some drinks.
Some drinks. He's probably like pretty much legal here too. I'm sure people would
How old
turn
is
him
he?
down.
20,
20,
right?
He has to be like 20, yeah, almost
If you're a
21.
celebrity, do they card
Will
you?
be.
I mean, we know that Miley Cyrus has been going to clubs for a while now. Lindsay
Yeah,
Lohan used to go
a
to
lot of
clubs before
those
she was
people.
21. I think that it's different. I mean, Demi, she talks about it very openly. She says that, you know, she went to clubs when she was younger and the promoters would hand you various drugs and drinks and whatever else, and you just kind of get sucked into that lifestyle.
Yeah, without
crazy.
throwing specifics under the bus, I have personally seen underage celebrities at bars.
I have too.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Welcome
throw
to
that. Yeah.
That's why it's just funny. It's like, oh, I can legally drink here. It's like, I'm sure you can just walk in anywhere.
Underage drinking, tisk tisk. Kevin ends up calling Dani, and she hasn't started packing yet. He gets a little stressed. She says she has to get some outfits and whatnot.
Girls got to pack.
Yeah. Just throw some stuff in your bag.
Oh, never.
No?
It's never how packing goes. I try to, like, convince myself that that's all I have to do, and then I end up bringing so much stuff that I don't need because I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll need this, and maybe I'll need
My
this.
mama raised me well. She told me to make a packing list, and you can only have one of those carry-on suitcases no matter where you go.
Oh, I do that
What?
too, because you don't want to wait for the bag to come out. At
You
the
can
end.
only
It's not
have
worth
one
it.
pair of heels, one pair of flats, and one pair of flip-flops or, you know, boots or whatever you need.
You
The
travel
next time
like
I'm
me.
traveling, I'm calling the two of you to come over and help me because
Yeah.
that's never how it goes for
Yeah.
me ever.
You're gonna
I've got
guide
like
us.
the 50 pounds, like max what I can take with me.
Girls, you don't need multiple bags. You don't need to pay that extra $60 to check them. Just do a packing list. You'll figure it out.
It's like how
Made up
Nick
Cathy.
packed with the big sound system and like barely any shirts. That's like how I pack. I'll bring like my laptop and
Yeah.
like big rhinestone headphones that are so unnecessary, but like one pair of shoes.
It's so much easier for guys to pack, though, because really, I mean, guys are going to look good in like a t-shirt, jeans, and a pair of Converse. Like, they can wear that pretty much anywhere.
And
you
they don't have to do all this
I
every
know.
day.
You change into like a collared plaid shirt and you're ready to go to a club. Like, really?
Yeah, their dress code is so lenient on different levels from like work to night to dinner to events. You know, they can get away with that stuff.
Joe might have a couple extra bags because he has to pack the fedora.
He has more of a process of getting ready.
Can't
Although he
smash
does
the
look
hats.
adorable. So
You and your
him that.
puns tonight.
Oh,
That one just
I
came up
blame
off
the
top of my head.
champagne over
Get
there.
I will drink some of this.
it's igniting the fire of your creativity.
She's gonna get punnier and punnier with each sip.
I do. So, Kevin's really missing Dani, but the show must go on. They have a police escort to their show.
Yeah,
Crazy. They're like the president.
it's a whole nother
VIP.
level there.
I know. But they make it there alive. And the show, as we said, is really, really, really late.
Late.
It looked like
2 a.m.
fun
late.
though.
Oh, it looked like
It looked
such a blast.
amazing. I wanted to go.
Of course, I started dancing because I had my champagne. And, so the show seemed like it went really smoothly. Lots of people freaking out in the crowd. But
Yeah, regardless of what time it was, their fans were completely on par. They did not care. They were ready to bring it and celebrate the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
They did not look tired.
No.
They had like those balloons with like the glow stick things in them.
I
They were
love
dancing.
concerts with glow sticks. I love them. Glow sticks in general, any time of day or night. Fun. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. So
Cathy needs to go to like a rave or something. It sounds like.
I need to get
Glow
out
stick girl.
of this studio. I need to go out.
We'll bring the glow sticks to you.
Yes, please. So Dani's flight gets canceled. Kevin,
Murphy's Law.
not very happy.
No.
Not the calmest reaction or way to handle
It's
it.
one day. You're going to spend the rest of your life together. Enjoy yourself.
They are so.
I mean, it's
connected
cute.
to him.
It's
yeah.
cute, but
I know
like,
it's
go
a-
enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's a hassle for like travel plans, but really the time apart, it's like it's another day. It's a bummer, but it's not as big of a moment, like you said.
Yeah.
And that stuff always happens when you're traveling that far. There's always flight delays or cancellations, all that stuff.
And that's an all-day trip.
long
yeah.
flight.
Yeah. She had to go to Canada.
You're
and-
really losing a day for travel.
Yeah. But I'm sure she will make it there next week on next week's episode.
Guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Wait and see. It's
Wait
such
and
a
see.
teaser. We don't know. Will Dani ever make it to
Pretty
South
sure
America?
she will.
So, news and gossip, guys.
Do we have any?
Well, it looks like Mikey and Joe have been hanging out this week. They had a sushi date.
Ooh.
I don't have any news or gossip. That was it.
Where was our invite? We love sushi.
I know, that's the real reason why I brought it up. You didn't text me, Joe. I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately. We'll have to all go out on a girls' date to sushi sometime.
Down.
Make up for it.
To make them jealous, they'll totally see our post and, then they'll be mad at us. Turn the tables.
So, predictions for next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Predictions for next week. Does Dani ever make it to South America?
Dani does make it to South America in next week's episode.
I'm trying to build some suspense here, people. It's not working.
Who's gonna die first? It's like, I'm pretty sure she will.
Do we think that any of the guys come home with the South American lady?
Nope.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Well, that is the general consensus.
But they could have if they wanted to.
I'm sure they could have. I mean, not only are there a ton of girls who would die for that, but I'm sure even if there weren't, they could find some girls that just wanted a green card.
Yeah. They could have just... Nice.
I think we need to wrap up this episode for tonight. So, if you guys want to continue the Married to Jonas conversation, please, of course, subscribe to us on iTunes. You can comment on our YouTube, and then follow us on Twitter to continue that conversation. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at Danica Kennedy and on my website at danicakennedy.com.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Samantha_Laich, Laich.
You can follow me on Twitter at Cathy Kelley. Follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. So until next Sunday's episode, thank you for tuning in. Cheers.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.